Yeah, let's start with my name. My name is Stefan, and I have a really complicated last name, which is Friedrichowski. I think 99% of all people might not know how to pronounce it. Even sometimes I don't know it, but it's fine. Whenever you talk with me, just call me Stefan. So my last name sounds a little bit like I'm from Poland, but that's of course not true. As you might realize, my dialect in English that sounds German, and that's what I am. I'm German, and I'm living close to Dresden. Dresden is a bigger city in the east part of Germany. It's a former East Germany itself, so it's in Saxony, and the city itself I'm living in is Radebeul. That is really a city you might not know, but if you are interested in Karl May, so the author of Winnetou, he was born and living in Radebeul. So that's where I'm living. So I'm 55 years old now. Okay, so I'm from 1966, and I have really a funny birthday. That is the 26th of June, so 1966. So that's my birthday. From educational level, I'm a physician, so I have studied physics and worked in physics quite a long time until not I retired, but I made myself self-employed. And since I'm fascinated of trading, and that was really the switch from being a founder. That was my last step in my regular career. That was being a founder of a small startup company doing near-infrared spectroscopy. But then I sold that company, and from that point in time, that's now more than 10 or 12 years ago, I'm totally with trading, nothing else. So I'm a professional trader. First, I started for 1, 2, 3 years just to learn everything around trading. Then I founded a startup company for trading as well. Then later, I switched to the company called JFD Brokers, and doing trading for JFD Brokers directly, meaning I was responsible for JFD Wealth Management and JFD Invest. So background is totally professional trading. But now I switched again. So I'm not anymore with something like that. Now I'm with a bank, which is still JFD, but JFD Bank. So now I'm more related to software engineering, software architecture. That's what I do as we speak, still as a freelancer, but I'm still fascinated about trading. And that's the reason why I participate at WSOT since the very beginning. I like the principles behind, and for me, it's just a hobby now. Because I have other things as my profession, but it's just a cool hobby and I like it. So there's a principle logic, so to say, is really my background of physics or mathematics. So when it comes to trading, then I do not believe in any chart. I do not believe in anything somebody would tell me. If somebody would tell me, hey, look, there's a nice triangle in the chart, that's the point to enter a long trade, I would not believe. I believe nothing what other people tell me. They might be right, still. I'm not saying that they are wrong. But I only trade those strategies, those setups where I can prove, and with proof, I really mean proof, that this has a statistical edge and this is finally profitable even when it comes to costs as well. So normally trading has costs involved. So I only trade those ideas, those trading strategies where I have proven that they are profitable. And then I use them. That means I do everything with around back testing, algorithms, big data, starting from tick data of prices, especially for Forex. That's my favorite symbols are Forex symbols. But only if I can show with a computer that I have a profitable approach, then I would turn that into a trading strategy and trade that. Doing so, meaning doing those backtests, those algorithms, those optimization, means I have to code my own backtesting software, which is quite fast, in order to analyze whatever idea I have in mind. And then after analyzing, after optimization, then I would trade those strategies. That's what I have done in the past for wealth management purposes. And that's the same logic behind what I'm doing now with WSOT.
Okay, thank you. And can you tell us what was interesting about actually the tournaments that you won on WSOT? Was there any tough competition, setbacks, or successful moves? Just give us a walkthrough.
Okay. Okay. So there was absolutely no special reason to enter that one I won up to now. I think that was large stock companies. I forgot. But anyhow, it doesn't really count. So the first is why to enter with trading WSOT any tournament at all. And there's something quite special at WSOT. And the real special from my perspective is not that you can win money. No, that's fine. But the real astonishing feature of WSOT is you trade without costs. So that means practically you don't have a spread, you don't have a commission, and you don't have swaps, which means overnight costs if you have trades overnight. What does it mean that you don't have any costs? Having no costs in trading means that if you think about trading strategies, you are trading the pure edge. It means if you know, for whatever reason, that a certain setup has a higher probability to win than to lose, then you are done. Then you can trade exactly that approach already at WSOT. And that's the fundamental difference. If you have even a tiny edge, you can use it at WSOT. If you would go into the real life with classical brokers, you would still lose money. Because if you only have a tiny edge, it would not compensate the costs of trading. But at WSOT, since you don't have any costs involved, if you have a tiny edge in your approach, then automatically you have something profitable. And even if you might find something which has, let's say, a negative edge, so you would constantly lose money, fine, brilliant. If you found something like that, you are done. Because all you need to do is reverse your trades. So instead of entering a long trade, you would enter the short trade and vice versa. So even if you have a non-profitable trading strategy, you can turn that into a profitable at WSOT. In the normal brokerage, it's not the same. Since I mentioned already that my background is physics, that is, real trading has a break in symmetry because of costs, trading at WSOT is symmetric. Any trade you enter is symmetric with respect to the direction. And the symmetry break comes from costs, but we don't have costs. Trades are symmetric. And that's how it works. For me, because you asked why entering that tournament, I don't care about now of which kind of tournament I choose. What's important is I would only enter when I find an edge. Since I have an edge, I won it, the tournament. But it's only if you have the good edge, then you can win. You might win just because of a few lucky trades. That's always possible, and that's a valid strategy. I mean, you can go with all long in stocks, whatever stock you will find. You can do it, and if the market goes up, you will outperform me definitely. So that's another approach, but that's not my approach. Okay, no. Since I mentioned already, there's one strategy which is not mine. For example, going long in all stocks I can find, and then hoping that the market goes up. That's a strategy. You can use it, no question. That typical strategy is based on trades which are lasting long and have high profits per trade. Or in terms of if you would even set, and that's what I always do when it comes to trading, I always have a stop loss for any trade. If you follow the approach what I mentioned, then it would normally mean you have a tiny stop loss and a huge take profit. Or if you tell it wise a little bit other, then your risk reward ratio is quite high. So you have a small risk, but a high reward. So then if you have trades like that, if they come to an end, they are brilliant. You would be at the top of the top trading list, which is available at the WSOT as well. You have that kind of trades. But that's not my approach. My approach is I have only small trades. I trade more with a risk-reward ratio of 1:1. So my risk equals my reward. I only have small trades. You will never see any of my trades in the top trading ranking list. Never, ever. I don't have huge profits. My strategy is based on always the small things, adding up small profits, adding those up for a long time, not high profits and only a few trades. It's lots of trades with very small profits. And that's how my overall setup works. Of course, there are a little bit more secrets behind, but it's not that I'm looking for a long move. I don't do that. I'm looking for the small moves. And to give you a little bit of why, you will find, and now I am the one who is stating something without any proof. So I would not believe me. I can say that before. But normally, only about 30% of the time, markets are trendy. So they move in one direction, up or down. About 70% markets are wiggling around. They are sideways markets. They go a little bit up, down, down. And as you see already, when I say 30% trendy, 70% more or less sideways. Hey, 70% is the time we should use for trades and not the 30%. So we should find strategies which work with the small ups and downs, And that's what I use for my trading strategies. And I think that's the reason why I'm quite successful with that. That's a brilliant question. I can answer that quite easy. Maybe it takes a few sentences, but anyhow. So when I talk about trading, I talk about trading at a broker involving real money and so on. What does it mean if you are really trading at stock exchanges, at the forex markets? You trade against others, as you do at WSOT. At WSOT, okay, we are looking to the numbers. Oh, this guy is at plus 10%, this guy is at minus 5%, and we feel better, of course, if we are the one at plus 10%. But think about the profits of the one with plus 10 are the losses of the one with the minus 5, the minus 7, and so on. So it means that if you are profitable, you get the money from others. That's more or less what's around trading. Your competitors in the real markets are the big players at all. It's Deutsche Bank, it's Société Générale, it's any well-known bank you know. Those big players. And those big players are doing their business, their trading, quite well. If they would not do it quite well, they would stop the business. They would immediately stop it. There would be a manager saying, hey, we don't earn money with that. We should stop it. Or first, we might replace our people. So if it comes to trading, your competitors are the best traders in the world. Those are the ones you compete with. So for me, it means I compete with those, which is quite challenging. And I like this, I like it. So this competition is something I like. To compete with the best around the world, I like even more. And it's a little bit like WSOT. You compete with other traders. And of course you like it if you are more at the upper end of the table. But it's always this kind of competition. And this kind of competition is what drives me and what makes me so enthusiastic about trading. And that's the complete story behind.